Okay, so usually I make a video and I face the camera, but today I need to draw pictures because this is the kind of story that requires a little illustration. So you have a person, and this person is sort of, neutral. Let's say pretty positive, helpful. They love everyone. And then you have this person here, and you have this person here. Oh, sorry, over here. And these people are also positive, and they like to help people. Ditto, I'll just put ditto marks because that's faster. But there's a lot of unresolved, a lot of thinking problems, let's say. And these thinking problems translate into sometimes some emotional extremes. Sometimes, weird conflicts with people. People like to put labels on them. And if you want to put a label, you might want to. But really, it's just somebody who, in their life, they are struggling. And this person, too. Now, this person knows this person. And this person knows this person. Now, when this person and this person are with this person individually, in short amounts of time, there is a lightening. It's sort of like this person's presence makes this person feel a little better. They feel a little lighter. Some of their thinking issues are maybe not so dramatic. A lot of the unresolved stuff gets sort of pushed to the side, but only in short times. Any length of time leads to this person feeling the light is shining too brightly on areas that are unresolved. And so their light shines so bright, that those unresolved areas, they start popping up. And suddenly it's like they need distance. They need to get away from this person because their light is just making things in their own thinking come up and make them feel bad about themselves just because they're blaming this person for the thinking problems that they're struggling with, that they are not acknowledging, not looking for, and not working on. Eventually, at some point, this person starts hating and blaming this person, and this person starts hating and blaming this person. This person's just like, la-di-da-di-da, while this person is growing in their anger and hatred of this person, and this one too, to the point where these two people form an alliance because they have a common enemy. That common enemy is this person in the middle who shines a bright light on the things that they don't want to look at. So this common enemy happens. And so this person gets shut down. They get excluded. They get, people talk bad. They'll talk bad about them. They'll spread rumors, usually start at this point. And there's just all sorts of negativity because it's all now they have something to be mad at and there's something to blame, which really is a great distraction from their own unresolved thinking problems. So for a time, there's this commonality between these two sides. Well, this person's just do-de-do-de-do, because even if these people don't want to have anything to do with this person, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change who they are. Who they are is who they are. They've done their homework. They've resolved their thinking problems, and maybe they had thinking problems that involved feeling rejected or left out. But since they've worked on them, it doesn't change anything. So they go off, and this person will go off, and they will go here, and they will go there, and they will shed their light wherever there is someone who is looking for light, and they will give all their love and their attention. And anytime that there happens to be a call or request from these two, without even thinking about all of the conflict and all those negativities, they're immediately there. They're like, yeah, sure. Oh my goodness, then we can heal whatever it is that's causing this tension that I don't understand. But what happens eventually, and this is the interesting part, this person stays the same. If anything, they're improving. They're becoming more light. They're getting the opportunity to practice because they're constantly, giving their light away, so which is practice, as well as welcoming a difficult connection with somebody who maybe has kind of put a light on their own things to work on. So they're progressing. These two, having the common enemy, that works for a little while, but it's temporary. It is not a forever friendship because eventually this person stops being the focus of the relationship between these two, and all of a sudden they start looking at each other. And they're looking at each other, and they are mirrors to each other because they have both the same unresolved issues. And now all of a sudden they hate each other with a hatred that is like almost deathly. They're to the point where they block you. They it's like whatever joined them together in this common space, it is just, there's a big wall there, and ain't nothing going to tear that wall down until they work on whatever the unresolved is that's underneath. So the fascinating part of this triangle is that even though these two people, now they are each other's enemy, they still maintain a connection with this person. They can't have anything to do with each other because, the mirror is just too strong. But in short bursts, they continue to go to get a little light and a little positivity from this person in the middle. And this person in the middle is watching these two people, and this person loves this person and loves this person. But there's no way for them to understand how deeply this person loves them because they won't do the work by looking in the mirror and facing themselves and their unresolved issues, their thinking problems. They haven't learned to love themselves. And so you have this sort of twisted little triangle, and I'm pretty sure that this is a triangle that some people may be familiar with. Where, either you're the person in the middle who just sort of loves everybody and is watching these strange dynamics that play out around them in the odd sort of way, going, this is somehow connected to me, but I don't quite know how. Or maybe you're one of the people who's unresolved and hasn't really fully come aware of the thinking problems that create so much tension when light gets shined in those areas where you don't want to look. And you're sort of waking up to this place where you're like, when the light shines there, it's uncomfortable, but I get used to it. And then I start really seeing where my homework is. And at that point, the progress happens. And when that happens, this person becomes a lot like this person. Because now all of a sudden, they've resolved their thinking problems. They've worked on themselves. And then all of a sudden, what they find is that two people will show up in their lives here and here, and the whole situation will play out for them, where they will watch two people who they were close to and who they love play this weird dynamic. And in that weird dynamic, somehow these two people become common enemies against this person, and the whole thing cycle goes again and again. And so the reason why I'm sharing this is because when you can choose to be this person, and when you go from being this person to being this person, it spreads. And those two people who are common enemies, then they have to work on each other and themselves. But every time we have another person join the light, it means that the people who have the common enemy are forced to look at each other. And I want everybody to think about that when they're looking around the world today. Because the more light we shine, the more strange people will join together because of their fears are connected to each other. But it also means once they're faced with themselves, truly face themselves, they either will transform or they become mortal enemies and they go out like that, but they maintain the relationship with the light in the middle. And that's what you need to maintain, is that light in the middle, because ultimately everybody needs to take the journey to go from being the unresolved to the resolved, to having the thinking problems, to having healthy thinking, because eventually there's no more people out here unresolved looking for a common person who has the same fears of the person who's a light. Just put that in perspective and see what you get from that little journey. And stay blessed. Do you like my drawing? It's so pretty.